Fine. So today we are going to talk about this beautiful topic called nasal polyps. It is a nasal pathology and it is a growth basically. Now we are going to see the basic anatomy and physiology of the nose, the structures of the nose, so that we can have a better idea of the nasal polyp. Okay, and we are also going to see mainly we are going to see today the pathology, the clinical features, and investigation and treatment about the nasal polyps. Okay, now this video is going to be divided into two parts. So this is a first part where we are going to talk about uh, stuffs, basic stuffs, and we are going to talk up to the pathology. So let's get started. Now before we really go into deep of this topic, let's have an idea about the anatomy of nose. So here this is a cross section figure, and in this figure you can clearly see about the concha, and you can also see about the sinus. Here you can also have idea about paranasal sinuses. See, here is the first, here is the frontal sinus, then here is the sphenoidal sinus, and somewhere around here there is ethmoidal sinuses. And here, right, here we have frontal, and here, yes, somewhere around here we have maxillary sinus. Okay, and you can also make out the eustachian tube opening here, the tube which connects the middle ear and the pharynx, the tunnel. Okay, and here is the palate, and above the palate there is a structure of the nose. Here is a second diagram in which you can see about concha and also about meatus. Generally in the cross section diagram you cannot make out the meatus, but meatus are basically cavity. So concha is a thin bony structure, bony elements in the nose, and the meatus are the cavities. So between the superior concha and the middle concha there is a superior meatus, and between the uh, middle concha and the inferior concha there is a middle meatus, and between the inferior concha and floor of the nose there is an inferior meatus. Okay, and in this meatus the sinus, the paranasal sinus drains. Okay, so the paranasal sinus drains into this meatus, right? So this is about very basic of the nose. Now this concha helps in the turbulence, not actually helps in the turbulence but causes the turbulence. So this concha causes turbulence and eventually makes a flow of the air slow. So due to the turbulence the air slows down. जैसे हम रोड पे जा रहे होते हैं और जैसे वो बम्पर आता है, राइट, स्पीड ब्रेकर जिनको हम बोलते हैं, तो स्पीड ब्रेकर हमारे व्हीकल की स्पीड स्लो कर देते हैं, वैसे ही ये कॉन्का होते हैं, वो एयर की स्पीड स्लो कर देते हैं. सो द नोज कैन वर्क ऑन इट. नोज हैज़ अ फंक्शन टू ह्यूमिडिफाई द एयर. अगर बाहर का एनवायरनमेंट बहुत ही गर्म है तो डायरेक्टली एयर अंदर गर्म नहीं जानी चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट कैन डैमेज द इनर स्ट्रक्चर्स, inside structures of mucosa. Okay, so that's why the nose humidifies. If the air is so much hot then it makes it a colder, and if the air is so much cold then it makes a little bit warmer. It humidifies the air. It also catches the foreign particles like dust and pollutants. Okay, so that is the function of the nose. Nose doesn't just gets the air. You should not get air by your mouth. Why? Because mouth doesn't have this type of areas or structures which can humidify the air, but nose can humidify the air. So nose is a beautiful thing that can modify the air. It actually works on the air and it modifies, just like someone modifies their bike and make something out of it. So yeah, it is a modification. Now why I am telling you about this concha and meatus and all the paranasal sinuses, because you are going to see in the polyp, you are going to see two types of polyps, and in that two types the one type arises from the maxillary sinus and another type arises from ethmoidal sinus. So that's why you need to study about this paranasal sinuses, and you should also have a little bit idea of the nose as well as when you are studying about the nose pathology. Okay, so yes, let's go further. Now before I go into the detail, let me tell you something more about these sinuses. So this ethmoidal sinuses particularly, ethmoidal sinuses are not one or not couple, but they are multiple. Okay, so remember this fact, ethmoidal sinuses are multiple. Remember this fact. Later on you will know why did I tell you this fact. Okay, and they are smaller in the size. So ethmoidal sinuses are smaller in the size and they are multiple in number. Remember this fact. And maxillary sinus are larger in the size and they are couple. मतलब ये जो maxillary sinus है वो सिर्फ दो ही है, दो साइड में दो maxillary sinus. So total number of the maxillary sinus is 2. They are not multiple like ethmoidal sinus. So remember this fact. Now let's go further. Okay, so nasal polyp. The nasal polyp is a prolapse pedunculated part of the edematous mucosa of the nose or paranasal sinuses. So mostly it is a paranasal sinus mucosa. Okay, so we are going to focus on this word, mucosa. This word is really important here, and it is not a neoplasm. And the another word is this, prolapsed. So it is a prolapse thing, you know, it is something which has prolapse, just like the prolapse uterus. So prolapse uterus is not a tumor, it isn't a tumor, it seems like a tumor. So it is a bulging part, it is a bulged part, but it's not a tumor. It is basically prolapsed part. So prolapsed part does seems like a tumor, but it's not a tumor. ये ट्यूमर नहीं होते, ट्यूमर जैसे लगते हैं. Okay, and it is a mucosa. So remember these two things. Mucosa is really important. Okay, so there is something to do with the mucous membrane. Okay, now types. So we have generally two types. The first type, okay, so we have two types. The first type is enterochoanal type. Okay, it arises from the maxillary antrum and usually single in number, grows backward in the nose towards the choana and reaches the nasopharynx. The second type is ethmoidal type, which are multiple in number and they tends to protrude forward. Now look at this diagram very carefully. So here you can see choana, right? Here you can see choana. So this thing is choana. Choana is a basically, you know, opening of the nose into the pharynx, into the nasopharynx. So it is a basically opening. So from the choana, this prolapsed mucosa goes backward. That's why it is entering into the choana. It is entering into this opening. Look at the diagram. It is entering into the choana. So that's why it is called enterochoanal polyp. Okay, and it goes backward because the structure of the nose is like this. See, here the structure is like this. So of course it is going to go backward. There is more dependency more dependency on the front part, so it is going to go backward because there is no dependency on back part. It is like this slope, and on the front portion you cannot clearly make out, but on the front portion we have little bit this type of slope, right? This, and here is a this. So it goes front and here it goes back. It's as simple as that. Okay, so ethmoidal polyp are multiple in number. As you can see, they look like bunch of grapes. You see bunch of grapes, multiple in number. So it looks like bunch of grapes, right? An enterochoanal polyp looks like a dumbbell, a long dumbbell. Here from the margin it's bulged. Okay, and in between the shaft portion is thinner, so it looks like a dumbbell type. And the ethmoidal polyps looks like a grapes, and they are going front, and the enterochoanal polyp is going back. Okay, now here is the thing, you know, a few minutes back I told you that maxillary sinus are only 2 in number, so they are not multiple. So enterochoanal polyp which arises from the maxillary sinus, so this enterochoanal polyp arises from maxillary sinus, so it is also single or 2 in number but not multiple, just like the maxillary sinus, because it is arising from the maxillary sinus, right? And maxillary sinus is big in size. So this enterochoanal polyp is also big, it is also long, as you can clearly see in the diagram, it is long. Whereas ethmoidal sinus are multiple in number, so the ethmoidal polyp are also multiple in number, they are arising from the ethmoidal mucosa, so they are also multiple in number. And ethmoidal sinuses are small in size, so ethmoidal polyps are also small in size. It's as easy as that. You don't need, high tech, high intelligent. It's not a rocket science. It's as easy as that. You just have to know basics. Okay. Now etiology. Okay. Before we really go into the etiology, let's have some idea about what actually happens, what is the pathophysiology, how this polyp forms. Okay, so basically there is a mucous membrane disturbance. Okay, so there is something disturbed or there is irritation in the mucous membrane. Okay, and with that mucous membrane's hindrance, the mucous membrane gets prolapsed. Now, what are the causes of the mucous membrane disturbance? So there are some diseases which disturbs the mucous membrane, which disturbs the even mucosal secretion. So they are basically mucous membrane pathologies. Those diseases are basically, all right. So there are some diseases, and sometimes due to infection or due to allergy, there is a mucous membrane disturbance, and that mucous membrane prolapses. So what actually happens, no one knows what is the actual reason, but there is some disturbance in the mucous membrane due to allergy or due to infection, okay, or due to Bernoulli's phenomenon, or we are going to see what is Bernoulli's phenomenon different later on, okay, or due to, as we have said, some mucous membrane pathology. There is a disturbance in the mucous membrane, and that disturbance in the mucous membrane causes prolapse mucous membrane. So the mucosa becomes prolapse finally, and that prolapse mucosa forms a polyp, and that actually prolapse mucosa is what we call polyp, right? So you need to know about this. This is the basic pathophysiology. So there is some disturbance in the mucous membrane. Okay. Now etiology. So in the etiology of enterochoanal polyp, basically infection and allergy are main causes. So due to infection or due to allergy, there is disturbance in the mucous membrane, and then it just prolapses. And which mucous membrane we are talking about? We are talking about particularly maxillary sinus mucous membrane. So sinuses are cavity, but they are lined by mucosa. They are not totally empty. They does have a mucous membrane, okay? So the mucosa of that sinuses gets disturbed and gets prolapsed, okay? And when we are talking about enterochoanal polyp, the main etiology is infection and allergy, okay, and there is generally usually single in number, because sinus are also just 2 in number, so they are usually single or they are 2, but they are not multiple. Whereas bilateral ethmoidal sinuses are multiple in number, okay, and the causes of the ethmoidal sinus are so many, and you can just remember it by A, B and C, okay. So just remember A, B and C. Now here A stands for allergy, asthma and aspirin. So A stands for allergy, asthma and aspirin, 3A. B stands for Bernoulli's phenomena, and C stands for cystic fibrosis. Okay, so these 5 causes are the main causes which contributes to the formation of ethmoidal polyp. So just remember A, B and C. Once again, A for allergy, asthma and aspirin, B for Bernoulli's, and C for cystic fibrosis. Okay, so as you can see, aspirin sensitivity can also cause ethmoidal polyp. Now cystic fibrosis is 20%, in 20% cases cystic fibrosis is associated. Okay, so this diseases, Carter-Jenner syndrome, cystic fibrosis and Young syndrome, these 3 diseases basically causes mucous membrane disturbance. Okay, so these three diseases are responsible for the, they are the basically causing mucous membrane pathology. Okay, in cystic fibrosis there is a dehydration of the mucosal secretion, right? We are not going to talk about detail of the cystic fibrosis, but I am just telling you that it has something to do with the mucous membrane. Even in the Carter-Jenner syndrome, there is something to do with the cilia and mucous membrane. Okay, so these 3 diseases, Carter-Jenner, cystic fibrosis and Young syndrome, deals with the something with the mucous membrane. Okay, so that's why they can be a cause for the ethmoidal sinus, not sinus, ethmoidal polyp. I hope you are waking right now and not sleeping. So Bernoulli's phenomena. Now this is a basically physics. We are not going to go into so much detail of this because this is a physics, right? So it states that whenever the air passes through a narrow area in the nose, negative pressure develops in the vicinity of the paranasal sinuses, leading to increase in the formation of tissue fluids. Okay, so what it says is, whenever the air is passing through narrow area, so whenever there is a some kind of obstruction in the nose, or whenever the person is having deviated nasal septum, DNS, so the air is passing through the narrow space, and that creates a negative pressure, okay, in the vicinity of the paranasal sinuses, which causes some disturbance into the nasal paranasal sinus mucosa, and that can cause ethmoidal sinus. Infection is again going to be a cause, just like we have seen in enterocoenal polyp. So infection and allergy, these 2 are going to be there. You have to remember this. Okay, and also remember A, B, C. And sometimes vasomotor causes can also contribute, like imbalance between sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, that can hindrance in the mucosa and eventually cause the polyp. Okay, now pathology. So enterocoenal polyp is, as we have seen in the diagram, it is a long, okay, so it initially forms as a prolapse mucosa which slowly hangs down from the roof of the antrum or near the maxillary ostium, and then the mucosa becomes more edematous and eventually it sags down. So it eventually sags down and then it might get more elongated. Okay, and there are also a neck and a base of the polyp. Okay, so polyp also have a neck, only you don't have a neck. आपको ही नेक नहीं है, सबको नेक है. पॉलिप को भी नेक है. Okay, I am making some shitty jokes. Anyway, so this is about antral part, just part of the nose, but from the choana it goes downwards. So in the nasal part, so it was not a nasal part, it was antral part. So it was antrum means a cavity, and here we are talking about maxillary antrum. So here we are talking about the cavity of the maxillary sinus from which this polyp arises. Okay, so उसके अंदर क्या होगा, इसके अंदर पहले तो प्रोलैप्स म्यूकोसा होगा, वो जनरली ऐसे स्लोली लटक रहा है, and then it goes and it becomes more edematous, and then it reaches the nasal part. Okay, and then from the nose, from that coena, from that opening, it goes into the pharynx, into the nasopharynx. And sometimes in the neglected cases, it may go into the oropharynx and eventually into laryngopharynx, right? So ये तो सांप की जैसे है, लंबा होता जा रहा है. Okay, so in neglected cases it might reach up to laryngopharynx, and that isn't good, of course. Yeah. Okay, and ethmoidal polyp. So ethmoidal polyps arises from the ethmoidal sinuses. Okay, and then it sags down, it hangs down into the nasal cavity and into the middle meatus. We have also seen meatus, right? So that's why I was telling you about the meatus, so that you can understand the topic fully. So it goes into the middle meatus and it hangs down. Front, it goes front, and the enterocoenal polyp goes backwards. Okay, now microscopic pathology. So basically it is a mucous membrane, right? So it is a mucous membrane which is lined by a columnar epithelium which covers the polyp. Okay, and this polyp, if it comes into the contact of the air, okay, then it can go into the metaplastic change. So if you know about a uterus polyp, we see this in that too. Even prolapse uterine polyp can also undergo metaplastic changes if it comes into the contact of the external air, external environment. So same thing can happen here also. Okay, and the submucous tissue, what happens to the submucous tissue? So submucous tissue is also edematous. Here we are talking about polyp, which is a mucosal tissue, but submucous tissue is also disturbed, and that becomes edematous and it fills itself with the serous fluid. Okay, now, okay, so we have talked about cross pathology and we have also talked about microscopic pathology. Now we are going to talk about clinical features into the part 2. So stay tuned and also watch the part 2, otherwise you cannot get a proper knowledge, right? Yep.